We are celebrating the 50 years of agriculture in the EU, and I'm on my way today to talk to the Bowden family here just outside of Urlingford, and they have been clients of Teagasc for over the last 40 years. And I'm here to chat to them today about the Teagasc Advisory Service. I'd like to thank you very much today for participating, and want to kick off with Denis, right? Denis, what's your earliest memory of Teagasc in your farming life?
Well, Sandra, I suppose my earliest memory would be, it was ACOT back before Teagasc, and when I finished school in about 1977 or 78, I went to a 100-hour course in Kells Road in Kilkenny. A group of us from around the area, we used to get a minibus down at the Valley Inn and go in.
And if we look at transition now from, as you call that transition, you know, we transitioned to Paul when you came in on the advisory service. What's your earliest memory, Paul, you know, coming into the family farm business and where Teagasc has a place for you in it?
Well, I suppose my earliest memory of the advisory services is when, with Dad being involved in a discussion group for a long time, that if it was on during the summer and we're hosting it here, happened by chance, I'd be out and about with them, trotting along behind the group, and just hearing different bits and pieces and taking in bits and pieces and just seeing what's going on.
What I deem here, Eileen, there's a lot of discussion then from the input Teagasc has had through the years. Where have you seen that playing a role in, you know, in the family farm?
I suppose my first experience of Teagasc was maybe Richard O'Brien coming in here for a soup or whatever at lunchtime, and the conversation would start up, maybe trying to convince Denis to get rid of, you know, at that stage we had a lot of enterprises, and maybe just leave go one or two, and then when he was gone we discuss it, and you know, Richard would be very encouraging, and it took a lot of encouragement, but eventually we got round to it and it evolved. Okay. So that's where, the discussion, he started a discussion and we continued it here at home. So it was very positive.
I suppose that's what I always liked about Teagasc, was you felt you always got independent advice. You know, it wasn't someone trying to sell you nuts or sell you fertiliser, or someone that you always got independent advice, and if you had a problem, there was never any problem ringing up and whoever was your advisor at the time, and you got advice then about what grants you were entitled to.
And going forward then for you, Paul, Teagasc will continue to play a part in the business, in the family farm business going forward. Like, is there?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Look, I'm involved in two discussion groups now. The local one here at home with Dad, North West Kilkenny, and then also the K18 discussion group, which we brought together there after finishing college. So look, we're scattered around everywhere along the southeast and a bit more further south as well. And I know that if I have an issue or a problem, and if I want a lot of voices, a lot of opinions on it, I can throw that into the WhatsApp group of both of those discussion groups there. I know one group will give me the voice of experience, and the other group then might be the voice of maybe enthusiasm and things like that.
I think the discussion group has changed.
How you have farmed here?
I would have, definitely, giving me more confidence even at your stocking rate and things like that. But what, measure grass and measure money, you know,
very good.
And you won't go too far wrong.
Good. One standout thing that the advisory service has done for this family farm. I'll start with you, Paul.
I suppose, look, fair enough, there's discussion groups and all that, but even besides that, the skills that we're being equipped with, there are plenty of focus days in terms of drying off and in terms of breeding or hoof care and certain things like that are definitely put in front of us, and definitely given the skills, certain groups will be set up to educators in terms of grass management and all that. I can remember Richard O'Brien was here, the first documented grass walk was done here in 2010, and that was on an A4 sheet of paper and simple band method back then. Now it's just, when I walk out, it's on to pasture base and you have your wage at the end of it.
And for you, Denis?
I suppose the one thing is, you see, when it started, you have to stay moving with the times a little, you know, and
Okay.
Teagasc has done that. And even the buildings that we built back in the late 70s, early 80s, some of them are still there and some of them have given way to newer buildings.
Yeah.
Because everything evolves, you know, everything changes and you have to keep moving a little bit with the times. And I think Teagasc have done that, you know, because we were following Teagasc and they had to work with us with the quota for a certain length of time, you know, for as long as it was there. But as someone said, a small farm is the whole time getting bigger. So we have to grow a little now, we all have to do a bit more now to make it viable.
Okay.
And
Teagasc has been with you on that journey.
Teagasc has been with us, yeah. I think they're always there. I mentioned it earlier, I think they're independent advice, you know, and
That's
they
important to you.
do the research, they have the research, or well, particularly in the dairy, and look, we have Moore Park down there, I'd say the
State-of-the-art facility.
state-of-the-art facilities and still growing, and it's, you know, that's advice, and things will evolve, I suppose, over the next 40 years for Paul, and they'll have to move again with them. It's all the environment now. It was quota and it was other things, and Area 8 came in. It was a huge thing at the
Scheme
time,
work.
trying to get
Yeah.
if that now, and plus it's all gone digital now. That has been a huge game changer towards getting all the paper and all that. But look,
Very good.
Teagasc, they have moved along, and we've moved a little bit with them, I suppose.
Very good.
Yeah.
Eileen, I'll give the last word to yourself. How do you have seen it for this family?
I suppose I echo what the lads have said, but I think it's just the ongoing support has been, you know, so important to the lads and has given them confidence in what they're doing. And if they've any issues, they can go back to Teagasc for advice. And I think, you know, that's the bottom line.
This is important.
It's so important. It has given them confidence in what they're doing. And that's great.
Thank you very much.